Hey guys, welcome to Rosie's Dessert Spot. In this tutorial I'll be demonstrating how to create a pretty naked cake with super sharp edges and some native Australian flowers. I've used my hybrid buttercream for this tutorial to stick my first layer of cake on. This is a 10-inch cake and I believe a 12-inch cake board that I've used here. Because it is a naked cake, they do tend to dry out a little bit faster, so you are going to benefit from adding a syrup to your cake sponge. That was just sugar and water equal parts, and I cooked it over the stove for 5 minutes. Fill in with your chosen frosting. Again, I've gone with the hybrid buttercream. Link will be in the description box below or in the eye icon above. For a super neat finish, you want to make sure that your cake has been resting in the fridge overnight so that the sponge is nice and firm and it's not going to crumb as much. So the outside of your cake will be nice and clean. Fill in any spots as you go and just smooth out that outside frosting. There is a lip on top of this cake. We are not going to be removing it. We are going to add it into the fridge to set for at least an hour just as is. Work on your top tier. This was a 7-inch cake with a 7-inch cake board underneath this as well. Follow the exact same steps. I didn't show it, but there is sugar syrup on each layer of this cake as well. Smooth out the outside of your cake with a bench scraper. I sell those on my website rosiesdessertspot.com, and then into the fridge it goes as well for an hour. I have a hot knife here that's been dipped in boiling hot water, and I'm just gently cutting away that top edge. I'm keeping the top of my knife flush with the top of the cake, and that just helps me to keep it straight and steady. Your knife should glide through it like butter, and if you start to feel resistance, end your cut and dip your knife back into the hot water, otherwise it can pull at your frosting and just mess up that top edge. Knead it off with a spatula, and then into the bottom tier I'm adding 4 bubble tea straws. You could use wooden dowels instead. Push them right to the bottom of your cake, give it a bit of a wriggle, and then cut off where that frosting meets on the straw. So basically you're just cutting it flush with the top of the cake. Make sure to press those down so you can't see them, and then add something to glue your top tier on. So I've used some buttercream frosting. You could use melted chocolate, which is really firm and really great to use as a medium as well. On she goes. It does help to put her into the freezer for at least half an hour so that you can touch it without denting it. And I always like to hide that seam with some frosting. I smooth out with a bench scraper and then again with a spatula as well. Remove that top lip from your top tier as well. If you don't have a really sharp paring knife, you can just use your spatula as well. Just make sure that it's under some really hot water and it should glide right through. I've used the, I believe they're called Australian natives for this. It's what my friend requested, and you can see that there is floral tape around each of those stems. That's important because you don't really want the juices from the stems to enter your cake. You want to keep it food safe. You could take it one extra step and food wrap it, so with Glad wrap, and then put it into a straw and then into your cake. So there's another way to keep your flowers food safe. It's always best to go organic flowers if you can, and just make sure to give them a wash, whether they're from the florist or organic. And that is the tutorial for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it and that you give it a go. And if you do, hashtag Rosie's Dessert Spot so we can see your awesome creations as well. I hope you learned something new, and I'll catch you in the next tutorial. Bye for now.